We've got a first for the channel here today. I'm going to be doing a product review. The product I'm going to be reviewing is this small granite bench plate from Accu-Products. So it's a small granite surface plate, sized and arranged specifically for use with 22-inch and under cutting units. Now, the way I heard about this thing is I was doing a presentation here at the shop during the last GCSAA show about the use of granite surface plates in the golf shop. And an attender came up and showed me this on his phone. And I had never seen it before, and I was shocked at the price point and the accuracy. These things are only $379, and they claimed about 5/10 accuracy across the whole thing, which is a lot of precision for a pretty low price. To add to that, granite is inherently more accurate and stable than aluminum bench plates, including the ones offered by Accu-Products, and yet the aluminum bench plate is several $100s more than this, with its only advantage being it's a bit larger and so can accommodate larger cutting units. Now, with all that said, I'm just doing a little uncrating here. I did accidentally uncrate it upside down, which is fine. I just had to flip it, and it does include some instructions. And they sent me some cutting paper too, which is nice of them. Little orbital shot here, and you can see the included parallel bolted to the surface plate. I'm not surprised that they can offer granite at this price point or this accuracy level. There's plenty of places online to get small granite surface plates for use in hobby machine shops. It's just kind of nice that they've given us something in a convenient form factor for use with cutting units. And I'm just going to do a quick kind of shop grade inspection of this thing. I actually don't own a 10th resolution dial test indicator, which would be preferable for this test. So I'm just going to sweep it with a standard 0 to 1 thousandth resolution dial indicator right across the top of the parallel there to see how well parallel we are. Not much movement on the needle coming across. At the end here, you're going to see I think I jostle it a little too much and start to get into almost like 2 thou there. So I re-swept it. You can see we're very, very close to 1 thou there. Or under 1 thou, anyway. And yeah, it gets a little bumpy on that lettering there. But so I go ahead and swept it one more time. The camera focus isn't as good here, but I just wanted to try to get to the end within 1,000th parallelism. And as you can see, looks like we did. So under 1,000ths, generally, I think that's going to be more than accurate enough for our purposes in the golf shop. A note here on supporting a surface plate. So surface plates are supposed to be supported at 3 points so that they don't warp and distort over time. I included this illustration that shows where the pads are supposed to go. Basically, a fourth or between a fourth and a fifth of the width away from the edge, with one in the center on the other side. So I tried to approximate this with some foam adhesive pads here. And then I took part of the crate and kind of set up a towel on it, and I'm gonna put the surface plate down on that to hopefully keep it reasonably supported, especially when I'm putting heavy cutting units on it. It's possible I'm being a bit too much of a dork about this, but somebody went to the trouble of scraping this rock perfectly flat, so I'll try and keep it that way. So anyway. First customer here, we're going to take a 220 SL fixed head walking greens mower off the grinder, take it over to the plate. And no bed knife in it right now, so I decided to see how it would work as a workstation, and actually it's pretty good. So I kind of leaned it back there. I'm using an overhead winch to support it so that it doesn't just fall off. But yeah, it was very convenient, very ergonomic to get my bed knife installed here and set my reel to bed knife clearance using a 2000s feeler gauge. And so now I just kind of clean up some of the sand that was falling out of this mower and put it down on the plate, and I'm just going to get the bed knife up against that parallel so that the reel is resting on it. I'm also going to use my overhead winch here to lift the handle just a little bit to support the weight of it so it's not influencing any of the measurements I take. So there you go. You can see the handle's not influencing the position of the mower. So this is kind of what's going on. This is how you use these things, right? I'm going to put the bed knife up against this parallel, like I said. Reels resting on the parallel. And in this case, the motor is over that drum, and the drum is basically in full contact with the surface plate. So unlike with like a flex head unit, rather than measuring for gap under the drum, I'm going to be checking for gap under the reel on each side. And if I remember correctly, this mower came off the grinder with about 6 or 7 thousandths of parallelism error, which is not a lot, but I thought it would be a good test to see if I could detect it using feeler gauges. And I was able to. I went through a few feeler gauges here on this side here, and I was able to detect that about 6 thousandths of error end to end, which again is not very much. And I try not to send out more than 5 on greens units, but it was kind of a good practical accuracy test to see that that discrepancy that I saw on the grinder, I was able to detect using this method. So now I'm going to pop a cover off and start going through my parallelism procedures here for a 220 SL. Take the chain tension off, and I'm just going to loosen up that leading side bearing block. And we went in, and I believe that took the error out. So I'm just confirming that with the feeler gauges. Sometimes these things just get a bit bound up, a bit twisted. So in this case, I didn't have to adjust the eccentric. All I had to do was adjust that leading side bearing block, and we're good. So now we're going to set that chain tension again and pop the cover back on. So as I take this mower off the surface plate, I'll just kind of summarize my thoughts on that experience. Is it a little bit of a pain to wrestle a fixed head greens mower up onto this little plate? Yeah, it is. But I think, for the price, the accuracy level is really, really impressive. And, certainly if I showed up somewhere that didn't have any other way to parallel cutting units, this is absolutely the first thing I would purchase. This is a huge problem solver. I definitely wanted to make sure that I demonstrated the inspection of a flex head style cutting unit on this plate. So I just grabbed a random QA5 I had sitting in the grinding area to inspect. So I'm just cleaning the rollers off there. I will say that due to the position of the parallel bar that's mounted on the plate, it's definitely more orientated towards Toro style cutting units with a quote unquote fixed rear roller. It's just a little bit more awkward to position a QA5 on this due to the front roller being the quote unquote fixed roller. But I kind of just rested the reel on the parallel bar there and took a look for light under that roller. So yeah, the one kind of note I have is I would like to see maybe an alternate parallel bar position for adjusting QA5s. That would be convenient. But overall, I would say great product.